Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night. You have tuned in to
Becky
and Brandy's Culture Exposed podcast. Hey guys.
Hey guys.
Okay, so this is number either
16?
16? I was gonna say 15 or 16.
Yeah.
But come on, y'all. We have been doing this podcast for you guys, and we had to take a little time off because I've been having some health things going on, and we wanted to definitely bring this one to you today because it is the end of the month.
Mm-hmm.
And this is
Women's, what is it, Empowerment Month?
It's like, yeah, International Women's History Month or
Okay.
something like that. But yeah, to empower, that's what we're trying to do. That's why we have this podcast, to empower you guys and to bring awareness. So today is going to be dedicated to only women things. And I think that is necessary. It's almost the end of the month, so we had to come in here so that we could give you guys this before the end of the month, and so that you can understand how powerful women are, and that we wanted to acknowledge that. And that's, what our base for our podcast is. We want to bring you always women stuff. So
Yes, definitely.
and we're women, and we are damn good at our job.
That's
right.
True.
We have been through a lot of adversity, and also been through a lot of I want to say struggle, but we've come out on the greatest end of that right now, and where we're at, we're where we need to be. So I want to give a shout out to my friend, because she is an amazing woman. What do you like about being a woman?
I think it's very important for a strong woman to voice their opinions and to make sure that your voice is never dimmed or shut down. Being a Navajo woman, it's all about the matriarch, and the women is the reason why the household is strong.
Absolutely.
And the ways I was raised was that I am just as equal as a man.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And as women, when we're in relationships, we are submissive because we are so strong, and the man is supposed to take the lead or be the head of the house and everything like that. But sometimes you have to interject into that because of our intuition.
That's true.
Different things like that. We have to say, hey, I know you're the head, but let's look at it as in this perspective. Let's look at it in this situation. And that's what I love about being a woman. I have that gut intuition feeling a lot, and it's led me to a lot of great things and great ideas, situations where I've avoided getting in trouble. And it's just because I'm a woman. It's there, You don't know why. You don't know, it's God, but you don't know why, like, you turned down this street, but that intuition told you to, and then that street over there had a shooting, or that street, those type of things. So.
And actually, the House of Representatives, the way our country in America governs, is actually based off them witnessing on how the Native Americans, when they came over, on how much they relied on the women, because like each tribe, they had the women who were the head, and they were the ones who made the final intuitions. Nice. Our decisions based on the intuitions.
Right.
So that's how they did it, and that's the reason why they have that sort of structure.
And that's
council, amazing. I should say.
That's amazing. That's amazing. And we have to definitely acknowledge the different ethnicity of women that have actually pushed forward for us. I was reading some things on how in Germany and Britain is when they really started the women's right to vote. Mm-hmm. It was out there. They were like, y'all not gonna make all of the decisions around here, and we're as women, we make up the bulk of the population also. So it started over there. I think they said it started over there, but it was first pushed through in Hawaii, in an island over there in Hawaii, where they were like, okay, this is going to be the first place, and we're gonna start it. And then they went from Britain and France and all these other places, which is amazing, because eventually it trickled down to United States, and everywhere else, where we matter too. Our opinions matter, to the point where we're talking to the kids. We're making sure that the house is good. We're making sure that our husbands are good, our parents are good. Like, women have so many roles, and we have to acknowledge these roles that we take, and we like shatter all goals when it comes to it. It be like, you hear a lot of people say, I don't know how my mama did it, but she did. I don't know how's it. People don't say that about their daddies. They don't be saying, I don't know how my daddy did it, but he did it. But they always say that about their mother. And I don't know if it's a stereotype, because they think that women can't do things. But if you notice, one strong woman that always made it happen. And that's just a blessing, you know? I did want to say something. I have some little notes right here about the women, the International Women's History Month. And so it says, the National Women's History Month was established by a presidential proclamation to draw attention to and improve the focus on women in historical studies. It began in New York City on March 8th, 1857, when female textile workers marched in protest of unfair working conditions and unequal rights for women. It was one of the first organized strikes by working women, during which they called for a shorter workday and decent wages. Also on March 8th, 1908, women workers in the needle trades marched through New York City's Lower East Side to protest child labor and sweatshop working conditions and condemn women's suffrage. Beginning in 1910, March 8th became annually observed as International Women's Day. Women's History Week was instituted in 1978 to begin adding women history into educational curriculum. Y'all, like, we really handling our business and doing what we're supposed to do. They also said that, just because a lot of women contributed to economic, political, and social contributions, and that's like amazing. Like, we have to give ourselves a round of applause, because that's what we did. What
I also wanted to put in that women's they started to talk about women's voting rights in 1878, but it took 42 years until 1920, when they actually passed that law for women to actually be able to vote in elections. Also, I want to point out that in 1920 was when they also proposed that Native Americans, not just women, but men too, they proposed that they should be able to have the right to vote. But it wasn't until 1924 when that had went through, and that was for both men and women, Native Americans. So the fact that the women, made that wave also
opened it up for
Native Americans to have a voice too in the voting process.
That's what's up. Well, Black people wasn't able to vote till the 60s. We still, baby, we ain't gonna even get on that. But that everybody being able to vote did push it to, women and different ethnicities did push it for them to think that, okay, now Black people are able to be equal. It's been crazy, but I really commend all the other ethnicities that did step up and say, we are a part of this great land. How dare y'all not, accept us too? That is just.
Oh, actually, that was wrong. That was actually when they became citizens. Native Americans became citizens.
Native citizens
of the United States.
They weren't even counting.
No,
they weren't even
not
counting.
Not until 1920, which is crazy, being that they are on native land.
Right. They came. We were talking yesterday about just to get off the subject a little bit, about the 1491s. Yeah. So before Columbus came, they had they said anywhere from 3 to multiple, I couldn't see like the ending number, but over 3 million to like 40 million Native Americans here.
Yep.
Like, bruh, and they just came over here and just did they think, like, that's so crazy.
Well, I've also read that Hitler based his genocide of the Jews on how America genocided Native Americans.
Baby.
But the Native Americans or the government will never acknowledge that.
Never.
But that's how Hitler, got his game plan and how to get rid of Jews.
Okay. We're gonna move on. Let's talk about some women accomplishments.
Yeah, let's do that.
Because I know, like, in the sports world, we are so hype on NCAA with the women. Like, right now, the women are taking over than the men. And
yeah,
they are way more in the news and in the media and everything because of what they're doing and how good they are. So let's shout out NCAA and the NIT, the NCAIA, all of those, where they have all these different divisions of women that are knocking down barriers, trampling on all type of stats like crazy.
Yep.
And just being great at the craft that they have been taught and they have studied and they have practiced, like just knocking down barriers. So shout out to y'all.
Yep.
Then the WNBA, like, we got the Aces, we got the Sparks, we got all of these bomb teams, and the Aces, we're in Vegas. So
we have to represent the Aces.
Back-to-back titles. Hopefully they
Yep.
get another one so we can do a three-peat, like, they are amazing and they're knocking down barriers, and they have so many young kids wanting to do the same thing, wanting to do basketball. Like, that was us. Like, I was Cheryl
That's how we
Swoops.
met.
Yeah, no, for real. Like, Cheryl Swoops, like, all of those back in the day basketball players is why I wanted to play basketball. So when I went out for the basketball team to play, that's when I met my friend 30 years ago.
And Jenna. Shout out to Jenna.
Oh yeah, our three-peat and Jenna. But that's where I met them. Like, we wanted to be different. We didn't want to just go to school. We wanted to play basketball. We wanted to go to different schools. We wanted to meet different people. We wanted to stay healthy. It was so fun.
Yeah, it's
and
competitive.
Yeah, oh my God, the competition was crazy. Talking mess, getting kicked out, technical fouls. Like, baby, that was me. That was me. That was me. But I feel like that it brought us together as friends, and that's why we're friends 3 decades later, because of the camaraderie that we had with that team, and our coach, and how he was like, y'all gotta work together, and that was just amazing. So shout out to women's sports and just the competition and how hard they going and everything like that. Like right now we're in March Madness.
Yeah.
So, like, the girls are killing it right now. The guys are too. Don't get me wrong. I was watching all men basketball yesterday.
Yeah, they are.
But the girls are killing it. So we wanna shout them out and just say,
Yeah, let's talk about the Elite Eight. So
yes.
Right now we have South Carolina and Oregon State. They're going to be playing on March 31st at 10 a.m.
tomorrow.
Yep. And then Texas and NC State. They're going to play tomorrow too at 12 p.m.
Nice.
And then Iowa and LSU. That's going to be a game to watch. Make sure you guys tune into that.
Bruh.
It's going to be back to the championship.
I'm going to get me some chicken wings and watch that game because that's going to be good.
Yes, and that's going to be on the April 1st. And right now they are determining on who's going to be the last 8. Okay. So it's either going to be USC and Baylor, who are playing right now.
Nice.
And then later on today at 5 p.m., UConn and Duke will play.
Oh my gosh. Like you don't even want to tune into the guys. These games right here are going to be so bomb. Like, yes. Everybody is going to be, shout out to them. Shout out to the women and their drive to be the best. And then for them, all of NCAA, they need to start paying these kids. Y'all get all this money, all this news coverage, all this, making so many ticket sales and everything from these kids. Like, shout out to whoever started. Let's start paying these kids, because that's just not cool at all.
Did you hear, like, Ice Cube's gonna pay Caitlin Clark? He offered her $3 million. $3 million to play in that big three. Like, that's fucking huge.
No, for real. That's crazy. Like, shout out to her. Like, I know she probably ain't gonna do it because she wants to go to NBA, to the WNBA. She does. But, like, that's just amazing how he even offered that to her. So, shout out to her and him, because he was like, I see the greatness in her. Like, come on, women. Come on, women.
Let's go.
I want to talk about some women inventions. Things that women have invented that you might not have known about. So, a woman by the name of Marie Curie invented radiation. A woman by the name of Jane Cook Wright, she was an oncologist. She invented chemotherapy to treat breast cancer and skin cancer. A lady named Frances Sanusi discovered HIV. A lady named Catherine Bishop co-discovered vitamin E, for your skin and stuff. A woman invented the paper bag. Y'all know we need them paper bags. The dishwasher, solar heating, the hot comb, okay? Chocolate chip cookies. Let's go. The structure of DNA, a woman invented and discovered that. Her name's Rosalind Franklin. So, guys, like, without women, we would really be waiting for the men to do it, and that's not what it's all about. It's about women being equal and having the same opportunities to learn, to research, and to be able to discover things, because we have a different type of brain. We think different places. I don't like when, like, so let's get on the men and we're not gonna get on like the props and the bills or nothing, but how can a man tell you what to do with your body?
You can't.
Absolutely not. You cannot tell me what to do with my body when you don't know what type of body I am. And so I feel like when we're talking about that and talking about these different bills and props and everything, and the man steps in and says, well, this is this and this is that, I'm like, what? Like, you can't carry a life. You can't feed a life. You can't do any of that. So how can you, don't get me started, but that right there, let's say that right now, men need to step out of that, because that is not your business. That's just not your business. Like, let the women decide what they want to do with their body. Okay, I'm off my soapbox. So different women that are, let's talk about different women that are influential to you. So let's talk about personal women.
Personal
that you actually know, that are influential, that have been influential in your life.
Well, of course, my grandmother, you and Jenna, my cousin Natasha Hilt, she's very influential. She just got her doctorates like 2 years ago right now. So she's a doctor, OBGYN in Phoenix, Arizona.
Hey, shout out to Natasha. Okay, Miss OBGYN.
Yes.
Dang, that's tight.
Yeah. And, just, going through that, because that's like a long process to become a doctor.
Girl, yeah, like 10 years at least.
And then plus being a mother during that whole thing.
That's crazy.
Too.
That's shout out to women that just do everything.
Yes.
You know what I mean? I wanna accomplish this. I'm gonna go to school and do this, but I'm also gonna be a mother full time. You'll be like, whoa, how do you have the time? But we just make it happen.
And then even like my mother, like taking that chance and having me, though like it might have been controversial back in the day, like she still took that chance to have me.
Absolutely.
My my godmother, who was the head nurse in Tuba City, Arizona. Nice. Like, she was running that whole hospital.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah. I think your mom is very influential too. She's got her master's.
Yeah.
And I like how she keeps jumping in and doing different things. She never stops learning, and is always trying to make her life better.
Right.
And does not stop. Does not let no boundaries, no barriers can stop that woman.
That's crazy.
Shout out to Melody.
Shout out to Melody. I'm sorry, shout out to Mom. You'll be like, I know you call me Melody on that podcast. To piggyback off of that, I believe that she is like the number one woman in my life. I've been very blessed to have a mother like her. She has always taught me to go out there and get it. To go to school, do my best, take those skills that I learned in school and apply them into life. And then also never to give up. That's why y'all see me. I'm never lazy. I'm always working. I have something to do because she's instilled that into me. It just, you got to go get it, Brandy. Like, nobody's going to give it to you. And I want to be a soft girl. I want to be like they were back in the day where you ain't got to go to work. You can stay at home. But I haven't came across that man yet. I have never came across that man, okay? But, you know, but we looking for you.
Right.
Because I'm tired. I'm tired of being independent. All the women independent. I'm tired of it. So, shout out to you, boo. Because I see you. I know you're listening. Go ahead and take me out of this. Because I don't want to be independent no more. But just to go back to my mom, she is amazing. Like, we'll ask her to update a resume. Send it to me. You'd be like, what is it? Yeah, send it to me. What else you need? You know, that's the type of woman she is. She wants to. She's never been a hater. Always wanted to, like, make sure that me and my friends, the kids, everybody is going to a different level, you know? So that's amazing. For me, it was definitely both of my grandmothers on my dad's side and on my mom's side. My grandmother on my dad's side, she didn't care. She'd choke you in your neck if you talk crazy to her, and at the same time, she'll be in the kitchen cooking you dinner because she loved you that much. She was so amazing, and she got out there and did what she was supposed to do too. My grandmother on my mom's side, she was just loving. I think I was her favorite. Shout out to my cousins, but I think I was her favorite. But she showed me how to love a man. She was with my grandfather until she passed away. And they were together since, like, my mom was like 3. It wasn't my mom's biological father, but you wouldn't know that because she was with my grandmother ever since my mom was 3 until she passed away. And she showed me how to love a man that was a great man, because my grandfather was the best man I've ever met in my life.
I would say that's kind of like a dying love,
right?
Because there's a lot of people who would not, like, stick it out with a marriage. It's too easy to get a divorce.
It's real easy.
I never been married because of that fact. Like, divorce is too easy to happen nowadays, and I want the type of marriage that my grandparents had too.
I know.
That's like till death do us part, and we will, reunite in the spirit world.
I wonder why, like, it's so easy for people to hop up and get a divorce. That is so crazy to me, because the way life is, you should want to have that second person, that partner, you know what I mean, in different things, and we don't. We don't have that. Like, people, it's so many, there's grass is greener on the other side, or there's all this fish in the sea. But if you find your person, the grass ain't greener. There's not fish in the sea.
We will get into an argument or whatever, maybe a couple of days, but hey, we're gonna still make,
absolutely,
we are still going to,
be together.
And that's like where we put, like, God in the middle of our relationship. And most relationships, you have to have God in it in order for it to survive, because it's a blessing through God.
You better say that again. Most relationships, all relationships, you have to have God in it, or it's not gonna work.
Gonna fail.
because there's going to be envy, there's going to be a disrespect. Like, you're supposed to walk in love. That's my mom's favorite quote. She'd be like, walk in love.
And that's a two partnership, so it needs to come from the men and the women's side.
I wanted to play this, and I know y'all can hear it, but watch this.
Say, you know what, I want to be with someone, I just don't want to be married to them. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes the marriage, it just changes things. You know, and
marriage changes
that's why
things.
The divorce rate is just so high right now. But honestly, I don't regret nothing I did, because I know how I felt before everything got to what it ended up like. Why did you leave?
And that is what I was playing was this video that is Safari the entertainer. Him and Erica Mena had got they were together. They got married, they had 2 kids, and they got divorced. If y'all look up that interview with him and Jason Lee, because I did not know that Safari was so intelligent. He was really speaking his mind, and I love it. Like, they portrayed him out to be this person, but you could tell he was very sincere in that. But he said, you know, the reason why he got divorced was because she filed for divorce. She filed, and he wasn't mentally ready to fight for the divorce. And he was just like, man, she wanted to file. I was just cool, and I just left. And it's like, I'm not even gonna lie. That's exactly why I'm not married right now too. Because I would have stayed, but he filed. He hounded me to get all the paperwork, you know.
Yeah. He
made me pay half and everything, and he thought I was gonna fight. If you tell me you want to divorce me, I can't fight for that. Yeah. After all these years, why would you fight for that? Like, I am a strong woman. I am independent. I am amazing. I will feed you. I will feel you spiritually. I will feel you emotionally. Like, that is me. I am that person. And if you fall, I'm gonna help you up, and I'm gonna make sure that you're up, you know, before I take my love away or whatever it is. But the way that women are subjected to have to, you know, I'm gonna fight for my man, I gotta do this. Like, no, like, we are equal. We're equal now. Yeah. So if you want to be in this relationship, you gotta reciprocate the love and everything else. And that's why I see a lot of women, they're like you, they're like, I'm not getting married until that person comes that really shows me. Like, for me personally, I've been married twice.
I'm waiting for God or Jesus to sit down on my bed and be like, hey,
this is
I got someone for you.
This is him. I don't know.
I want you to meet my homeboy.
It's like, right. I got you. Watch this. Let me hook you up. But it's like, for me, I'm supposed to be married. I'm supposed to have that love, that I'm supposed to take care of the kids. I'm supposed to, you know, do that. I have that type of energy, and that's what I need. You know, that's what I crave. I crave a marriage, one person to be with. I'm not trying to be out there in the streets with all these different people. And so I think that by myself, I fall trapped to someone that tells me, well, I'm gonna love you and I'm gonna do this and they don't. And for me now, I do believe that God is telling me, I need you to pull back. I need you to pull back. That wasn't for you. You're out of there. Let's go ahead and move forward with that self-love. Because I lost a lot of myself with that marriage. I really did. And as a woman, and being as strong as I am, and this being Women's International History Month, you know, I'm going to make sure that I continue to give myself self-love and know my worth. Because my friends, they tell me all the time my worth. You guys tell me all the time, like, you're worth this, you're worth that, you're worth this. And then you can't be in a relationship with somebody that tells you that you're not.
Right.
That's not fair. You know, so self-love.
I mean, we're already getting, like, put down by the world.
Right. So your relationship, that's right. That's so true.
You know, you can come home and someone will uplift you,
right?
Instead of, like,
you uplifting them.
Yeah.
You're like, what? Where's my uplifting at? You know, I can't be strong all the time. So I do believe that this time is for me to be able to live my life, upgrade my life. I had a lot of baggage on me with my last marriage. I'm not gonna lie. I was asked to do a lot of stuff, and I had to put my stuff on hold.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to do that anymore. I just don't want to do that. I don't feel like it's right for me as a strong woman to have to, I want to submit and be able to, cater to my man and everything like that. But
I mean, all of us want our families to work and be, with the mom and the dad there.
Girl,
we all want that, like, especially in the beginning.
When you have a baby.
Especially when you have kids involved. But there's a time when you have to put your worth first, especially when there's mental, physical abuse going on, and that's just not right. That's not how God intended us to love one another.
Right. And it has to be in every point. And that's what I've noticed. Like, if I'm giving you a lot of this type of love, you have to give me a lot of that type of love. Like, we have to be equal somewhere. Mm-hmm. And that's where it wasn't equal at. I was giving the love and that person was taking it from me. And I'm not trying to bash anybody, but I just know some things was just not for me.
Yeah, and it's just draining.
Yeah. And you can't force anything that somebody doesn't want. So, shout out to the people that say, I just want a divorce. Now, don't come back. When you say that, mean that. Because that's what Safari was saying. He was like, she didn't mean it. She wanted me to fight. And when he didn't, that's when she got bitter. That's the same thing with my ex. He's like, you didn't fight for us. I'm like, bruh, you wanted a divorce. I had to move on. Mm-hmm. So they say life and death is in the power of the tongue. You got to watch what you say and watch what you ask for. Because you just might get it. Exactly. You just might get it. One of my favorite activist poets is Maya Angelou. I have disc that I use in my car, that I listen to her on. I listen to a lot of documentaries on her. I am just obsessed with her because she was amazing. She did not let anybody stand in her way. She wasn't the typical, oh, she's beautiful, oh, she's this, she was that. She was her. And because of her being her, she was amazing. And that's what I want to be. I want to be amazing in my own space so that it's recognized by everybody. And I think it is. And so I can't say that it hasn't been. Like, people do acknowledge what I say, do, and what I've accomplished. I think the same for you. A lot of people have acknowledged where you were, where you're at now, and we have to accept that. We were talking about that earlier with our other friend, and where we're at right now, it's enough. Yeah. You're enough. I'm enough. Where we're at right now, it's enough. Yes, we want to make more money and get a bigger house and all that stuff. But right now, today, it's enough.
It is.
A lot of self-worth. Like, I commend you for everything you've done with your children and what type of kids they are. Yeah. Your kids are not the kid that's going to be outside busting down the mall door and breaking in there and running out with Apple phones. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, at no time will any of your kids be that kid. And that's commending to you because you raised them like that. You raised them to be respectful. I did read that the best children they come from a strong mother. The best children with the best accomplishments in their lives come from some type of strong mother figure, strong woman in the house, a strong grandmother, and different things like that. Why is that?
I think it's because of sacrifices. They see the sacrifices that we make for them. They see that, hey, she gave up, so much she made of love for us so that we could have a better life.
That's right.
And them seeing that, especially if it was bad at one point, and then, looking back, they're like, hey, she really did a lot. She did make her sacrifices.
Mm-hmm.
So out of respect, and you have to respect your children too.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you can't, at least I don't, I get their opinion. I like to have an open communication, even though I run a matriarch. But I still get their opinions on stuff that affect us as a family unit.
Absolutely, you have to. You know, especially with my kids, they're like 24 and 26, so they don't play. You know what I mean? When it comes to me, they don't play.
But when it comes down to like big decisions, who do they come to?
Right.
They come to you.
They come to me.
They come to you, and they want your feedback to
All
make sure that they are making the right decision.
Absolutely, because they know that I'm going to analyze it correctly. I'm not going to tell them nothing crazy. I'll never put them in a situation where they were going to get arrested, they were going to go to jail. Like, those are my babies. Like, I care so much about them, and I pray over them, and I pray that God gives me the strength and the wisdom to be able to walk them through these paths of life that they need at their young age,
Yeah.
And they have a praying grandmother. I had a praying grandmother. They have a praying grandmother. So that's why I believe like they're so blessed right now to do the things that they're doing, and because they're really good kids.
Yeah, they are.
You know
We raised some really awesome kids. And that's like the winning part. Like,
right. And that's what we have to, that's when we say you're enough. That's when you say you did a great job. Pat yourself on the back and say, I've been through a lot, but through those times, my kids have came out amazing. You could say, oh, I want this job and I want to get this degree or whatever, but those kids came from you. These are your legacy. This is the next generation. So as long as they're not breaking into cars, stabbing their parents, doing stupid stuff like that, they're gonna make mistakes. Of course, they're not perfect, but shout out to the women that actually are in their children's lives, wanting to take care of their kids and making sure that their kids are perfect for the society. The kids make their own decisions, but you teach them to be great for the society and a contributor to life. Like, we're not gonna have no ghetto kids, you know what I mean? No ghetto children. Like, no. I want to say another thing. They said that women make up 43% of all occupations. So that means that it's about 57% of y'all ain't working. That's what. I want to shout out some like musicians that I love. I love India Ari and what she portrays and how she exhibits poise and self-respect and love. Lauryn Hill, Erykah Badu, those type of Kelly Clarkson. I'm gonna shout her out too, because she was over there playing with those kids in Africa. She was making, like, she does her thing. I love that. Like, they have so much poise, they have so much self-respect, and that's where I want to, like, I don't want to die with somebody saying like, oh, she was disrespectful, oh, you can't put her twerk videos on the internet, because like, I don't want any of that. So I'm thankful for my parents. Thank you for my mom, my grandmother, my friends, because they'll get me too. Like, don't do that, you shouldn't do that. I appreciate you.
I appreciate you too.
You know what I mean? For all that you've been doing for me and assisting me with, and always being there for me. Like, I really have a best friend that I can call at 2 o'clock in the morning and be like, girl, come over here. This is blah, 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 blah. And she'll be like, yeah.
Exactly.
Like, if you don't got one of those type of friends, then you got to get with God and ask God to put those type of friends in your life, because Becky is my blessing. I want to say that. And
Brandy's my blessing too.
So shout out to us. Shout out to BNB. So I think that was it for my stuff on International Women. But let's talk about some trifling women. So my friend Nisha, shout out to her as my bestie too. Shout out to Nisha. Nisha said that Becky needs an update on
Morgan,
the random man from Atlanta.
The random man from Atlanta.
So y'all remember that. If y'all don't remember, y'all gonna have to go back to episode, dang, was that like 11 when we talked about the random man from Atlanta? I think so. What's going on with Morgan?
Morgan, well, of course she's like TikTok famous and she's been getting her bag from TikTok. And I don't know if her baby daddy wanted the random man from Atlanta wanted a little bit more clout or whatever, but he put her on blast and said that she sent him $30,000. Yeah, $30,000. $33,000.
I know you lying.
And she
Morgan
went and she did a video and she said that when her car, because her car got stolen and her card was in there, her Chime card was in there, so she lost the card, lost her car. So she was making transfers to him, apparently. And then, you know, everybody in the comments was like, why didn't you just transfer it to your parents' account and have them, or just get you a whole new account?
Right.
So those are some really good, plausible questions,
Morgan.
But to each their own. We've all been young, dumb, and wanted our family to work, and whatever reason she did.
But she put it all on the dango internet to make us feel so dango sorry for her, and then you turn around and still have that man still playing with that man like that. Like, number one, y'all, let's not be dumb for the internet. Like, you gonna be dumb, keep it to yourself. So
she right now is currently in Atlanta, and she's been there for the past, I think, 2 to 3 weeks now, staying in an Airbnb. And supposedly he's been living with her too. Like,
baby, yeah, did y'all hear that? Living with her.
And I guess he was living with her in Michigan for the past month or two.
Baby,
what he has said. And he did do like a video, and in this video he's got this Rolex on, and the Rolex, like, you know, the TikTok people, they're a bunch of FBI agents in their own right.
Right.
So they looked it up, that the watch cost $30,000.
I know you lying.
Watch cost $30,000 for that Rolex. And so if she said that she was sending him money so that she can have money, but that watch is like $30,000. So that's the TikTok people's money?
Nope, not the TikTok people's money.
Because TikTok be paying her and stuff. So.
Morgan, baby girl, let me get up close. Baby girl, I know you ain't do that to us. We went over here and put you on our platform. You went over here. My shout out to my friend Linda. She be watching the random man from Atlanta from Morgan too. She probably up to date. That is crazy. I'm gonna need you to get this together, baby girl, because it's Women's History Month.
Give her, like, she probably needs some years to learn. I mean, we've all dealt, well, at least I know, I dealt with my fair share of
dumb stuff.
Mans.
Right. And dumb folks, yeah, for real.
And we all wanted to be in love and everything, but
dang,
but yeah,
I didn't make a video though and give it to all
trial
y'all.
And error. You gotta live and learn.
Dang.
And a lot of us who've been in the trenches know how that storyline's gonna go. Okay. But we're gonna be here for you, Morgan. I'm gonna still pray for you.
Absolutely. But we're gonna
for some real good discernment.
For real. God. That intuition, girl. We were talking about that intuition. Don't forget. Let me talk about me. I'm gonna back up a little bit. I'm in a wheelchair. So I don't want y'all to think that I made this video without my precautions. It is Women's History Month, and I had a very big surgery as a woman. I had a hysterectomy. Hysterectomy is a major surgery that you have when you take out your uterus, your fallopian tubes, your cervix, your ovaries, blah blah blah. I didn't get my ovaries taken out. I'm gonna tell y'all, I didn't get my ovaries taken out because I'm hella young. I'm young as hell, so I haven't went through menopause or nothing like that yet. But I did have a major surgery because of the issues that you have as a woman with these type of parts that you have. And so I was, mind you, like, if you don't want to hear it, fast forward this part, but I was having bleeding, and it was just exceptionally a lot of bleeding, hemorrhaging. And so I had to go into a lot of testing with my doctors to see what it was. It was fibroids. The fibroids were bursting and bleeding. And so they were like, yeah, we have to take it. There's nothing we could do to stop it. It was a lot of different tests, procedures, treatments. Nothing worked. I believe it was from my IUD. I believe it was from my IUD because I had my IUD. My daughter's 13, so I had one for 5 years, the second for 5 years, and this was my third one that I had. And the one that I had the third time, after I got it the third time, because they take it out and then they put it back in. Take it out, you have it out for a little, and then they put it back in after the 5 years, because I didn't want no more kids. But the third time after I got it in, I don't know if they didn't put it in right or what, but I've having problems ever since I got it. Not saying that y'all shouldn't get IUD. Do whatever you want to do. Remember, this is our body.
Do your research.
Do your research. Do whatever you need to do.
Due diligence.
On what you feel. Some people still get the shots. Some people are on pills. Some people use condoms. Some people just raw dog it. Hey, it's your body. It's your body. Do what you want to do. But for me, I just needed to have that surgery. So yes, I am in a wheelchair right now. My son is wheeling me around. I'm going back home, but I did have to do this podcast with my friend because we had to get this out. So many of y'all been wanting a podcast, so y'all better have looked at this all the way to the end. Here's your podcast that you've been asking for, and we will be back within the next 2 weeks for another one in April. By the time we'll know who won March Madness and who won the championship, so we'll be talking about that too, because that's crazy.
But right now it's fourth quarter with the SC and Baylor game. So South Carolina's at 69 and Baylor's at 67.
How many?
53 seconds
left.
Oh my God. 53 seconds.
Oh my God, come on, South Carolina. Come on. So
shout out to Dawn Staley. Oh my gosh, she's the highest paid women's head coach, making, what is it, $2 million she's getting right now? Shout out to her. We've been watching her forever in basketball since college.
Let's talk about how much poise and self-respect she has. That Kim Moley lady. Like,
the mullet,
yeah, she be doing too much. But Dawn, she always is like so respectful, apologizing, trying to get the best out of her team. Like, shout out to her. And then she's the highest paid. That's why God blesses when you do what you're supposed to do, you know?
Yep.
And we will definitely come back in 2 weeks and talk about this Diddy stuff, because this is amazing on what's going on with him. Y'all, did y'all hear that Cassie and the baby mama said that he was having them bleed in a cup
every month, and then he would go and take it to his parties and people would drink it? That's just wild. That's some witch shit.
You laughing? No, for real, that is witchcraft and voodoo and stuff like that. No, baby. Yeah, we're gonna talk about all that next time. But yeah, just know we see you, Diddy.
And I've always said I never had good feelings or good energy from Diddy, and I've always did not like him.
Right, you said you think he killed Tupac and Biggie. She said he think he sacrificed all them for the money. And then his kids are being involved, and then all the CEOs that he been dealing with. Then they say that he have a whole bunch of like big time white billionaire sugar daddies. Did you hear about all
Clive
that?
Davis?
Yeah, Clive Davis, and then 2 other ones.
The tea is so good.
Robert Iodine or something, whatever, like Levine or something like that.
Yeah. And
then the other guy with the Ronnie B. Puff Daddy, you got sugar daddies? And what they making you do?
Right.
And then everybody's saying that they have to leave puffy parties by 1 a.m. or else. And then TD Jakes, what you doing at baby, we gonna come back with the tea. But
But stay tuned to 50 Cent. Like,
follow 50
on Instagram. He keeps you all updated with all Puffy stuff.
And then he be like calling out everybody. He don't play. Like, you play with Puffy, he gonna be like, Puffy play with your booty. Shout out to the women.
Don't let Puffy take you shopping.
Right. Shout out to the women for International Women's History Month. Shout out to us. Shout out to the tea that we be having. Shout out to just being a woman with a vagina. Like, shout out to all the men that want to be women too. Like, shout out to y'all, because we know we bomb. Y'all want to be over here. Like, I'm not even hating. Like, I get it. I get it. But shout out to the women that were born with the vaginas. Vagina. Like,
right.
Orlando Brown be saying. But shout out to us, because we make the world go round. Girls, who run the world?
Girls,
who run the world? And remember, self-love, self-respect. Don't let nobody tell you that you are not the bomb. This for all y'all. This for the women, this for the men. If the kids listening, everybody. Make sure that you know that you are enough.
yes.
And we'll see you guys next time.
Bye, guys.
Deuces.